I think you were down the coast, and I was down the coast. We were on the. We could say where. Well, I don't want to say exactly where I was,
but we're very close.
We're close, and we say we're in Victoria.
When we drive past your place, the kids are like, "Which street is it?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." But we are going to visit each other. But because of COVID, my partner's very paranoid about it.
It's just not worth it. It's just not. No. The only thing is, you could meet somewhere. You could meet on a beach or
on the beach,
and that's going to be fine. So,
but I don't want to. You'll be there with your surfy mates. You won't talk to me.
Yeah, but I'll be talking lingo, and you won't be able to keep up, and it'll be a bit embarrassing.
I'll have my boogie board. I'll have my boogie board, and I'll just go. Look at this.
Dave, boogie board's not cool, dude. And I'll go up in the sand dunes and have some drugs and stuff, and cowabunga, dude.
No, you'll go. You know what? You'll be there with some locals, and you'll go. Sorry, mate, locals only. Which was always a big threat when you were surfy, wasn't it? Locals
Dave,
only,
stop
mate.
Stop talking to me. You're a city guy. You're not a beach guy like me.
You're not local, mate.
No, you're not a local, mate. Piss off. So anything we had something happen. Do you want to hear about it?
Yeah, absolutely. A shark attack?
No. But there's been 3 sharks down there because I've got the app on my phone. It comes up with a little fin on my phone. Emergency. You should get it. It goes beep on your phone.
We hear a siren occasionally. I think they have a shark siren.
Well, that could be it. And they have the helicopters. They have the jet skis coming around and stuff. But there were 3 just up the road from me. So I was the expert. I contacted all my friends and said there's a shark in the breaker. There's a shark in the region.
You have a look. There's a shark. Oh, hang on. It's in the fish and chip shop. Bit of flake. There we go. Yum. I had some the other day. Beautiful.
So anyway, they're down there on the down the beach with the family in a house, and thought we'd go for a walk down to the rock pools. Tide's low.
Oh,
beautiful.
We did that.
Great.
We did
the
that.
Rock pools are fantastic. Every little rock pool's a different window into a different world, and you find shells, and you find little fish, and maybe an old Coke can or something. It's really satisfying.
It's good for little kids. Little kids like rock pools.
They love it. Yeah. So anyway, so we walk up around the point, and we're taking photos, and then we're with the grandchild, and then we come to this rock that's sort of like it's got a little bit of you can walk underneath it. And we said to the grandchild, you go underneath there and then run back through it and we'll take a photograph of you. So he walks underneath it and he turns left. And we're standing there waiting for him to come back. And I hear what I think is a motorbike starting. And I go, that's weird. And then I hear a scream, which is Romy. And then we run around, and there is a 130 kilo, we reckon 140 kilo seal arched up with the grandchild about a foot away. And
what?
Right? Yeah. He just ran up. Well, he didn't know what it was. He didn't know that it was dangerous. Well, they are dangerous, but they can bite you.
Glenn's mate Dave has turned up in his wetsuit. There he is.
Well, for a second, I thought, is that Dave O'Neill? No. So yeah, we ran in, and Romy picked him up and saved the day.
Wow! So the seal went up, did it? Like it went up?
A bit like when they spin the ball on their nose at the it was, and the motorbike obviously was the seal barking because it went like that. And I'm going, what is that? And you would think I would put 2 and 2 together that it would be a seal because we have seen it around there before, but only from a distance. And he was standing about a foot away, and luckily nothing happened. And he later on said the seal was friendly. So they learn fear. They learn fear. You know what I mean?
Who, the little kid said the seal was friendly?
Yeah, seal was friendly. He was friendly, so you didn't know that.
We had a great time before you turned up and ruined it.
Yeah, I was chatting to the seal there and go right on his back and everything. And then he walked around the other side. And he lay down again, and of course we're retelling the story, how we all saw it differently, and the drama of it all. And Alex actually took photographs. I should see if I can get it of the seal prints, and he sent it to his American family. And with I would imagine much trauma for the family seeing that they're in Australia confronting seals on a beach, going, what happens in that country?
So they can bite you, can they? Seals can bite.
Well, their temperament is not unlike a dog in that they won't necessarily attack you, but if you taunt them or go at them,
step on them,
they'll bite you. They'll bite you, but they won't pursue you. I've been swimming in the bay and they come around and they play with you, and if you do the wrong thing, they'll have a bit of a nibble at you, but. Yeah, I would imagine he probably would have, if the grandchild had done any more, then he may have well got bitten. But
whoa!
Anyway,
that's incredible.
So
you shot it. You shot it, and ate it.
Well, I had a harpoon with me, which was handy, because as you know, I'll carry a harpoon wherever I go. And I said, kids, you might not want to see this. No, come on and have a look at this. We'll take the seal. Who wants to take the seal home?
Remember that some of the first colonies in Victoria were seal hunting colonies where they'd hunt the seals.
Oh, yeah,
seals and whales. And they must have used the meat and the skins for stuff.
Skins, yeah. I mean, there's still a colony lives out in the middle of Port Phillip Bay, and you can get boat rides out there. And I've done it. You jump in the water and they come. I've surfed with seals. And I'll tell you realise how big they are when they scoot past you. They're like
big, aren't they?
Oh, they're like 6 foot long, and they're big and fat, and they're very powerful. But they go whoosh past you, and you go, "What the hell was that?" Oh. And it's a seal, just having fun. Yeah, but anyway. Wow. So when I write my surfing story books, stories from the beach. That's what my story book will be. Stories from the beach. I'll be putting that one in there. But that's a story that we'll pull out at his 21st.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'll be in my 80s by then. So.
I'll be
Uncle Arthur. Uncle Arthur will tell that story.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, here comes the music. The music's coming up.
Hello and welcome to Somehow Related. Now please welcome your hosts Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
Well, yeah, welcome to the podcast. And I got to tell you, we watched the other night. We had nothing to do down the beach house. We watched the Kath and Kim movie, which was really funny. The one in Italy.
Oh, did you? Yeah, because
great.
Yeah,
because I had never seen it, and I remember when it came out. Yeah, it was really funny. I mean, you're nude in it. You slide down You slide down a aircraft slide thing.
I tell you what, and I did it in the nude, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yes, because I'd had some tablets and on the plane, Kel had, I didn't, and I went a bit funny and took all my clothes off, didn't I?
Yeah.
And then we had to go out to Avalon and film that.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, Avalon is the capital of snakes. Seriously, the Avalon airport, there are snakes everywhere there.
Oh, really?
And I'm running around in the nude in snake country. And then they go, you've got to slide down a rubber slide in the nude. And I go, that's
Did you hurt your bum? You must have had chops on.
I'll tell you, yes, I did. It was hot. I got a hot ass, it's like when you come back from the beach and you sit on the back seat of the car when you're a kid.
So hang on, were you fully bared ass on that slide, or you're holding a bag on your lap, I think?
Surely, you know what, thinking about it.
You must have had jocks on, or...
You'd have to, because I'd have to have everything tied up and, pushed away. Because it could, knowing me, I could tear a hole in that thing, with Hi, kids, if you're listening. I probably, I had a bag in front, so I probably had something to protect my bony ass.
But again, it's good. If you've got kids or teenagers, it's a good movie because it's not rude or anything. There's some very funny bits in it. So,
it was fun to do. And it was a lot of it obviously was in real Italy.
Yeah,
we
beautiful.
Stayed in the castle for a couple of weeks or 10 days or something.
The sword fight's very funny between you and Rob Sitch, and it's good to see Rob Sitch playing a comic role because he's very funny. Rob Sitch,
Kath's love interest in that, and Rob's very good.
And Richard E. Grant. Richard E. Grant,
he's a lovely guy.
Oh, he's fantastic. Very funny.
So I got to know him really well. And who else was? Barry Humphrey spent a few days there with Barry. That was where Barry came out after lunch with the Dame Edna head on, but just a dressing gown on and nothing else. And it was too weird because here's Dame Edna speaking as Barry with the front of his thing falling open, going, there's Dame Edna's breasts. There's. It was just too, because I've grown up with Dame Edna.
You love Dame Edna.
Is real. She's real.
Yeah.
You can't kill that fantasy. But anyway, a lot of fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's good.
Yeah, it was great. It's on Netflix if anyone wants to have a look.
Yeah.
Really funny. Okay, so let's go to topics. It's January, so we don't have Sam's been working hard, but she's got a topic for us, she tells us. So,
yes.
What is it, Sam?
The Dalai Lama and thongs.
Oh, okay.
She said thongs, not thong, because there's a difference, isn't there?
Yes.
So a thong is a G-string, isn't it?
In America.
What do we call G-string? We call G-strings G-strings. Girls don't call them thongs, do they?
No, that's an American thing. And everyone does a stand-up joke about that, don't they? When they went to America and said, put your thong on when you get on the beach.
Yeah.
What? Just one? No.
Yeah. Carl Barron does a routine about that.
Does he? Yeah, right.
Yeah, he goes, How many have you got? 2? I'm wearing them right now. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then of course they're called flip-flops, aren't they?
Flip-flops in the UK. What are they called in
New Zealand? What are they called? Oh, jingles?
That's a good question. Jingles.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's true. What's the origin of them?
They've been around for...
Is it Japan? I read some of the... What did I read? They were saying that during World War II, a lot of the American soldiers...
brought them back. Yes.
And that's what started the trend.
Yes.
And of course, in a good American way, they didn't, they copied them in rubber. And,
and then they were big in surfing culture, weren't they? Beach culture. Thongs were big.
Oh, yeah. Very bad. No, they still are. I mean, they're verging on a fashionable item still, aren't they? You can get fashion brands. You can get. I mean, but then there's the whole surfy world, as you said. You can get leather ones, or you can get suede. You can get plastic. You can get hemp ones. So there's all different styles you can get. But I just remember the old-fashioned rubber thongs, and eventually either the front or the back little push-through pop thing.
Yes.
Push through. The hole would get a bit sloppy. And you'd go around a corner and you blow it out. You go, oh, no, I've blown out one of my thongs. Put it back in.
You put it back in and then it worked for about a few minutes and it would come out again.
Yeah. Because there was nothing. Running in thongs is one of the hard things to do, I reckon. And there's no way you can take a corner with a pair of thongs on.
There's that great movie, Two Hands, with Brian Brown and who does some great thong acting? Tom Long, who passed away actually, who was in Sea Change. You know Tom Long?
Oh, Tom Long, lovely guy.
Yeah, lovely guy. He plays one of Brian Brown's thugs. Does some great thong acting in it. Yeah, running in thongs to bash people and stuff. Yeah.
Who do we know?
Will Anderson. Will Anderson's a big.
Will Anderson. Good point.
He told me once that he would walk to the gig in shoes and then put thongs on to go on stage because it's obviously his stage wear. He feels comfortable.
That's interesting. The psychology of a thong, it really does send you a message of, warm weather and feeling free and relaxed.
Chris Franklin, the bloke, the Bogan comic. Chris
Franklin. He wears them on stage too, does he?
Absolutely. Wears thongs all the time. I've seen him wearing thongs in 4-degree winter. It's like,
Will Anderson, I think he wears them all year round.
Yeah.
Do you have... See, I wear them, but not as much. I've got my new shoes that we've talked about on this show, of course, my new rock hopping shoes, which, by the way, when we were dealing with the seal, came in very handy because I was just ready because I had my rock shoes on.
The seal actually looked at your shoes and went, that guy, no, he's serious.
I'm not taking him on. He's
like the old man of the sea.
Yeah. I don't like the flap noise they make. Flip-flop. Because that's why I call them flip-flops. Yeah. The flap noise. Yeah. If I go for a walk with someone that got thongs on, what's that thing with that word for when you simple noises really upset you?
Yeah. There's a term for it. I don't know. There's a term.
There's a term. Anyway, a friend of mine has it, and he's a real flapper. I just go, tone the flapping down a little bit, and they go flap, 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 flap.
Well, I don't have thongs. I have Birkenstocks, but they flap.
Yeah,
too.
you're a Birkenstock. Yeah, you're as we had a playoff, and your Birkenstocks with socks on. Won over my rock shoes, which are so cool. I'm still hurt over that. So I've got this thing when I do wear a pair of thongs, because I don't want to flap, I press my toes together to reduce flapping.
Oh.
So when I'm in the off the ground position, I'll tighten my toes, and then I'll put the thong back down. So I've got this tightening, bit bit like tightening your sphincter at appropriate times. And then my dad, speaking of flapping, my dad, as much as he bought us a beach house that we've still got, he said, I'm going to go home and make sausages for everyone. We're all down the beach. I'm going to make sausages. And my dad had really big feet. And so he goes home, makes the sausages, basically because he wanted them, and then puts them in a big bowl with nothing over it, and then gets out of the car, walks back, and with his big flappy feet, he was flicking sand up into the air over into the bowl of sausages. So when he arrived, it was just they were crumbed. They were automatically sand crumbed. Oh, these are great, Dad. A bit crunchy, a little crunchy, but he was flapping away. Sand was going everywhere. It's fantastic stuff.
Did your dad cook the sausages long enough? Because we'd have an intervention with Kev because he wouldn't cook them long enough, and everyone would say they're too raw. Because sausages take a while. They take a long time to cook.
As I've said on this podcast before, Mum used to buy sausages and she'd leave one extra one for me and I would eat it raw. I would suck it from the tube. I'd sit in front of Hogan's Heroes or F Troop and suck away. And I loved raw sausage meat. Anyway. Sausages are hard because you cook them too quick. And you burn the outside and not the inside. You've got to cook them slowly. Like the Webbers are pretty good for cooking the sausages because with the lid on, I think they can cook a bit quicker that way. But
we had sausages the other night. I just cooked them in the fry pan because we don't have a barbecue at the beach house. But gee, they were good. Bloody good.
Bloody good. And did you have them just with salad, or surely you threw a pile of white bread on the table and said those who wish may partake.
No, you always got to have bread, especially with kids. You got to have bread. Yeah, bread and sauce, some onions, or all right.
Didn't Kylie at the Summer Olympics in Sydney?
Oh yes,
come on. Riding a thong?
Yes.
A giant thong?
There were thongs there, weren't there? As an Australian icon. Yeah, good one. Yeah, right.
I don't know. A real Australian icon, which is it is an icon, but it's probably not fair that we pretend that we own it.
No, but still, it's kind of Aussie.
And I'll tell you something else. Just one more thing. My dad, because he had size 12 feet, he was really good at taking his thong off and killing flies. Killing a fly. Back in the day, when if you were naughty, you might get whacked.
Oh, whack with a thong.
With a wet thong too. Get whacked with the thong.
Yeah.
That cracked, didn't it?
Yeah.
Especially on your ass when you're just wearing a pair of Speedos, Jeez. Oh, yeah. Dad, that hurt. Yeah.
Thongs are great. I've got to get some. I've got to get back into the thongs.
Yeah, well, get a trendy pair and, you can be... But I dare say you may well wear them with socks.
Yeah. It's very German, but I do. I need them for the beach. You're right. I got to get them for the beach.
They are. They're fantastic. And how often do you see one thong left on the beach or a pair of thongs left on the? Yeah. You can just go down the beach. You'll find a pair lying around somewhere because someone would have left them. And I'm always a bit wary, especially with the designer ones. You don't leave them lying around because people will come up and nick them. They will.
There's that great Rodney Rude joke where the kid walks in with one thong and he goes, You lost the thong, mate? He goes, I found one. Classic.
There was a period where we used to throw thongs and you could, like boomerangs, you could almost make them, almost like a frisbee. You could actually throw a thong across a room or across, and you can go whoop, 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 and catch it. For a short period there, it was a bit of a game.
Bit of fun.
Yeah, it was good. Sorry, I cut you off. Yeah.
No, I was going to say Dalai Lama.
Yes, the Dalai Lama.
I find the Dalai Lama fascinating because he was a monk, at 4 years old or something like that. They became monks. He's just born into a peasant family, and then he was chosen because they believed he was reincarnated or something. They chose him at 6 or something to become the Dalai Lama.
I think it was 6. Yeah. So he was the blessed one, and then he would go into being educated and learn the stories of life and his philosophies on. Because
So I imagine it's a bit like the Karate Kid or Kung Fu Panda. Have you seen the Kung Fu Panda movies where they go through this torturous, education and physical trials? And I wonder, but it is a weird thing, isn't it? Where they just they
choose
drive
someone.
around. These monks drive around and they choose someone that
Isn't
they
that
believe
cool, though? Isn't it? In a way, it's better than the royal family in that you're born to be a royal. Whereas when someone just, you know what, could be anyone. It's like Teslotto. Anyone could be the Dalai Lama. What's his real name? Has he got a Tenzin?
Yes, he has. Yeah, he's got. That's right, Tenzin. Yeah, he's got a real name. But all I know is that So he's actually the spiritual leader of Tibet. Is that right? Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. But he has some political power, though, doesn't he? He has political influence.
But he lives in exile. He lives in exile in India. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
the Chinese don't like him.
With Richard Gere, doesn't he hang out? Or used to hang out with him?
Tom Cruise. But yeah, he. So the Chinese exiled him basically.
And they're still worried about it. They're still worried. He can't go back to Tibet, can he? Because
no.
And it's do we have any listeners in China? Can we make an appeal to them to perhaps, or maybe we shouldn't say anything. Probably best.
Well, no, it's terrible how they treat Tibet. But I only because I've done. I had to help my son with global politics in VCE that he was doing China, and they talk a lot about the Uyghurs who are up in the. They're a Muslim minority up in China, and they get treated terribly. And they talk a bit about Tibet too, which is China's got no time for anyone of any difference, basically, to them.
It's the tyranny of So could we go to Tibet if we wanted to?
Yeah, you can go to Tibet. Yeah.
Tibet. Where's Everest? Do you go? Is that near there?
Yeah. Yep. There's a few countries. There's Nepal. There's Tibet. I've never been. I'd love to go there. Ever since reading Tintin in Tibet, which is, the Tintin books. He goes to Tibet. And so I'd love to go and have a look. Yeah, love to. Your mate, Tom Glides, they did that fishing show from that other country. I can't remember what it's called. But it's around there too. Like a real...
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they went to... Oh, and was that Rob and Tom that did the...
Yeah, they did, a river somewhere.
A river somewhere, yeah. They went to another small nation near there where they have good fishing. Right. But... I'd love to go there.
I went and saw the Dalai Lama at the tennis centre here. I didn't know. I couldn't understand couldn't understand what we were saying. And it felt good, it felt quite where we came as one and sat around.
$50 a head, or was it you have to pay?
I'm just trying to think who opened for him. I think Farnham opened for him.
Farnham. Surely he'd get someone more like Deepak Chopra or someone along his lines.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah. To come out and do a bit of the.
Have we got any Aussie versions of that? Any Aussie versions of spiritual leaders? We don't have anyone, do we? They're all like.
What about Father Bob? Father Bob could get out there.
Father Bob. You know what? He's probably the closest.
He'd be great. He'd get out there and he can speak and he just give a bit of a talk and talk about his experiences and stuff. And then, okay.
Eckhart Tolle. That's who I was thinking of. Eckhart Tolle.
Eckhart Tolle. Right.
He came out here and did some shows. He did some. Eckhart. I've read Eckhart's book. I loved it. A New Earth. Great book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I went to the Summer Bin Laden tour. That was good.
It was a pub tour. He did the pubs, didn't he? Yeah. He didn't do the big rooms.
Before he got killed.
Did the Dalai Lama win the Nobel Prize? I think he did back in the 80s, didn't he?
Probably.
For what? For peace, world peace, for spreading the good word, for,
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you, didn't Husey get to meet him?
Oh, yes. Yeah, on the project. Yeah.
So he got to. That'd actually be good thinking music, wouldn't it? Too.
Yes.
Yeah. Because Husey interviewed him. I didn't see it, but
I'd love to hear that. Doesn't he make statements and then people quote him? Because I remember reading that Mercedes-Benz they used one of his quotes in a TV ad.
Yes, they did, and they had to pull it down, didn't they?
Yes. Yeah. The light runs smooth, or something like this. Hey, mate, it's not Deepak Chopra. You just can't quote him.
You just can't, a cease and desist.
I reckon you should start sending out some spiritual quotes, and we'll do a few memes of you sitting on a surfboard with a seal could be in the background.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And Glenn, the ocean runs deep, but I don't know. We got to come. What the ocean runs deep,
yeah,
but the soul runs shallow. They don't have to make sense. They just have to look.
Just have to have the good rhythm to them.
Yeah. The surf will always be there, but will your parents?
Be one with the water. and the water will be won.
Yes.
Yeah, the game of
One.
life.
Be one with the water, but the water will always win.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's my other favourite one, which is don't take a long road to an average view.
That's great. Yeah, it's a long drive to an average view.
Yeah.
Someone quoted that to me the other day. I think it was Adam Zwar quoted and said, "You know what Glenn Robbins always says?
Yeah.
It's a long drive to an average view."
Yeah, don't take the long drive to the average view, which means if you've got a good story, if it goes for a long time, it better have a fucking good ending, because I've committed a lot of time to this, and you've given me a shit ending, and you actually made it up. It's not true. You pretended it was true.
Or it's an old joke.
Oh yeah, it's an old joke. You go, yeah.
Who used to do that all the time? They used to sit down and go, "Hey, did I tell you this? I was in the pub the other night. I was talking to this guy, and then I just go, hey, this is an old joke."
Yeah. Oh no. Now, Dalai Lama, he is. I'm embarrassed to say this. What is he? What religion is he?
Buddhist.
So he's into reincarnation, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, they believe he's reincarnated. So, yeah, he's the one.
What would you like to come back as?
Well, I know I've already been a Egyptian king. I know that
because you spoke to you had your past lives done.
Yeah, and I was also a Viking. I mean, I was never a peasant. I was never the guy, scooping up the elephant shit. No. I was always in charge.
Yeah, you weren't picking up bins or cleaning toilets.
Even though the majority of people 1,000 years ago would have been slaves and peasants, I was one of them.
Yeah.
What would I be reincarnated as?
Yeah, but it's reincarnation, and you can come back as anything. You can come back as a fish. Come back as a
penguin. Penguin? No, penguin swims a lot though. They go on very long swims.
And they're cold, and I think I'm a well-loved domestic cat. Doesn't get much better than that.
Yes.
I mean, a dog, dog's good, but a domestic cat just sleeping in the sun all day and licking.
Dog's not bad. You go for a walk, someone picks up your poo. That's pretty good.
Yeah, brings it back. That's pretty good. A bird, mate. Bird would be good. Bird.
Well, you get to fly, which would be
because that would impress all the other animals.
But you want to be a big bird. You don't want to be a little bird who's flying along and just gets picked up by a big bird and gets eaten. You don't want to be that.
I tell you what, you wouldn't want to come back as chicken, prawn.
Nah.
Anything that's top shelf at the restaurant. Oh
Cow.
no, man! If you came back as a prawn, wouldn't you be pissed off? Because your chances of, it wouldn't be good. You'd be gone in a flash. But anyway,
yeah. Or a dairy cow would be just getting milked all the time. Oh,
it's pretty boring though, standing around. But,
cold early mornings.
Yeah.
Someone pulling on your teat. Okay, well, should we have some thinking music then? Yeah, let's have some.
Yes.
All right. Well, is this Hughesy talking to the Dalai Lama?
I think that Hughesy, I reckon he spoke to him on the project.
Yeah,
and,
great.
Great. Yeah, okay. Take it away, Hughesy.
I went through surgery.
Right, yep.
The gallbladder. So I want to tell you, now this time, although you are meeting Dalai Lama,
yes.
The same person, but actually one important organ missing.
What happened to the gallbladder? Is it in a jar somewhere, the gallbladder, or do they get rid of it?
I think somewhere. I don't know. I don't know.
I'd like to have that. Do you get annoyed that you're so busy? Do you love being busy?
It depends. Meaningful. If meaningful, busy, very good.
Is this interview interview being meaningful? Meaningful?
Oh, meaningful.
Yes, this interview.
Your eyes, a little bit sort of stage. That makes me laugh. I enjoy it. Such person is really open. I love that.
I do appreciate that.
Oh, very good.
Oh, you could tell by the look in his face, he was very respectful. I mean, Hughesy you could tell. I mean, it's very easy to look stupid in front of the Dalai Lama. I mean, you shoot yourself in the foot. Didn't Carl Stefanovic try to do a joke with him, and it became quite famous?
Oh, that's right. What was that again?
What was the joke? Did you hear about the Dalai Lama? He went into a pizza shop. I want to be one with everything. I want to be something like that. Something a play on the words of.
Got nothing? The Dalai Lama?
No, I've got nothing from the Dalai. No, I got nothing. I mean, seriously, you're going in there, hey, Carl, I'm going to tell the Dalai Lama a joke. I mean, the guy's got a good sense of humour, but not.
He does.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and when I heard the joke, I was kind of going, Dalai, I get why you're not laughing. Not a great joke. I mean, I didn't do it justice.
But also, English is not his first language. So you got to allow for that some misunderstanding if it's a wordplay.
Yep.
What's your guess? I'll have a...
My guess, this is obvious, I'm going to say in his entire life, he has never, ever worn anything but thongs.
Wow. I'm going to say the Dalai Lama once did an ad campaign for thongs to raise money for Tibet.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I wonder if he can be bought. I wouldn't think so.
You go on, Sam. I want to hear. Yeah.
Do you want to hear?
Yeah, I want to hear. Yeah.
All right. What is the answer, Sam?
Okay guys, this one's a little light, but it is January. The Dalai Lama's preferred footwear are thongs. He gets around anywhere, even the most exclusive circles, with the casual footwear.
You were right.
I was right. Well,
you were right.
Yeah.
You have been listening to Somehow Related with Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
Do you reckon if you opened his cupboard, he'd have hanging around thongs, he'd have going out thongs, he'd have fine dining thongs, he'd have
it's a bit like a
travelling
Melba
thongs.
Marcos.
And they wouldn't go away. They'd go. How many do you reckon he'd travel with? Then probably half a dozen. Do you reckon?
Yeah. How many would he have? That's a good point.
Would he have rubber ones? Would they all be made of hemp or something, or would he have?
Surely they have ones for the shower. Remember that you have to wear them in the shower so you don't get a pamplona.
Yeah, you'd have your shower ones. Yep.
Yeah. So you don't get a wart. You don't get a wart in the shower. Yeah,
that's right. I wonder if if you could give them as a gift to the Dalai Lama and say, "We know you love thongs.
Yes.
Here's a nice Australian rubber pair. You know,
it's a great idea."
So who was that? Imelda Marcos? Is she the one that had all the shoes?
Yes.
Yeah. I reckon he's like that with thongs. I reckon he would have. You pull the cupboard door open. He'd have up one end. He'd have all the what do you call it? Not
the gowns. The
gowns,
kind of
the wraparounds,
wraparounds.
Nice wraparound. He'd have half a dozen of those, half a dozen of thongs, and I reckon he'd wear undies. He wouldn't go.
He'd have some undies. Yeah.
He'd have undies, wouldn't he? Very easy packing. Very easy packing.
He's hand luggage for sure. He'd be hand luggage on the plane.
Yep. Now this is interesting. We had an argument about this with somebody else. Can you drive with thongs on?
Oh, it's hard.
But is it legal?
Yeah, I think it's legal.
But I think there was a time when it wasn't because they sort of thought if your thong slipped off and got stuck underneath the brake underneath, it could make the accelerator because it would work like a spring and make it go. So
I remember thongs used to be. I mean, you still see it on pubs these days. No singlets, no thongs, no entry. Thongs are very looked down upon back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, if we were auditioning people for this show to take over either my role or your role, let's just say that you died, you were attacked by a seal, right? And we had to recast you.
Yeah.
Oh, no, maybe you went to live with the seals. What happened to he went to live with the seals down on the west coast of Victoria.
He thought of living with the wolves, but he thought the seals would be better.
Yeah. He's dancing with, and it'd be made into a documentary called Dancing with Seals, and we'd see all your old shows,
like my friend the octopus, octopus.
Yeah, and there'd be unsubstantiated footage of you with the seals lying on some rocks, sunning yourself, and then you dive back into the water and swim off, and they go, we think that was Dave O'Neill,
and in a wetsuit.
Oh, in a wetsuit. Yeah, you would live in the wetsuit. Yeah, absolutely.
Eating fish.
Yeah, just lying back and just having just lying back there, eating a bit of seaweed, loving life, basically.
Could bring down the kids occasionally to wave at me from the shore.
Yep. There goes Dad. He looks happy.
But I would have moved on. I'd have a partner in the seal world.
Oh, would you? Yeah, you would too.
Seal girlfriend.
But then you might get captured by SeaWorld up in Queensland, and you start being the host, and it comes full circle. It comes full circle, and you become the host of the seal show up at SeaWorld, and we all go and see you and get together, and then we smuggle you out and we bring you back, and it all ends happily. But anyway, in the meantime, I've got to audition someone for Somehow Related. If someone turned up in thongs, I wouldn't be impressed.
Oh yeah, no, it's not job interview stuff.
It's not job interview. You go to some trouble.
Interview.
Because anyway, I remember Larry David talked about it on. He was on an aeroplane. The bloke next to him had short pants on, and he was bending his knees, and he's going, "You know what? When you're on a plane, don't expose your knees." And it's kind of like, yeah, it's fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So, I got to be honest. I don't like looking at people's feet.
Yeah. People take their shoes and socks off on a plane too.
Well,
Walk
yeah,
around
I
bare
don't.
feet.
I mean, it's just. Feet aren't. Hats off to feet because they do a bloody good job. They're carrying us around 24/7. You know, they're kicking balls, they're climbing ladders, they're dancing, they're walking, they're running, they're swimming for you. So they're doing the good, but they are quite ugly.
Yes.
And if they're not maintained, they can look. You know, and in the
Ugly.
wrong pair of thongs, you go. And if they, you know what. If they're for some reason white feet aren't attractive, brown feet always look good. Tanned feet look good.
Yeah, they do. But white feet, it's like, oh my god, look at that.
God, look at your white feet. I've got a little. I haven't tanned, but I've got a little bit going on just so I don't look totally embarrassing. I don't sunbake, and neither do you, I'm sure.
No.
But, no, I don't mean it rudely, but I just mean it's just baking out there. It's just.
I'm scared of the sun.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely.
But you know when you go to Europe and the sun's not as powerful in the northern hemisphere, so you can walk around with that hat on.
I reckon in
Fine.
Victoria, the further you go south, the stronger it gets. I don't know whether it's got something to do with the ozone layer or something, but anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, you
reckon
can
you're
quote
right.
me on that.
Well,
Okay.
there we go, Dalai Lama. So he was a monk. I've told this joke before about the monks. The monk starts in the monastery,
Oh no!
and
please.
he's only allowed to say 2 words a year. You know this joke. He's only allowed to say 2 words a year.
I don't.
Okay, so he stays there for a year, and the head monk goes, "Okay, what are your 2 words for the year?" And he goes, "Bed hard." He's like, "All right." He has another year there, and he goes, "All right, what are your 2 words for the year?" And he goes, "Food bad." And he's like, "Oh, okay." So he has another year there working away in the monastery. He goes, "You've got your 2 words. What do you want to say?" And he goes, "Too cold." He goes, "Oh, all right." So he has another year there, and then he goes, "All right, what are your 2 words?" He goes, "Look, I don't want to say 2 words. I'm leaving. I've had enough of this place." And the guy goes, "Good. All you've done is bloody complain since you've been here." It's a classic.
Yeah. You can fuck off. There's your 2 words, dickhead. Smart ass.
Classic.